Welcome to Gracefully Graying. And today I am very pleased to welcome actually our youngest guest to date on Gracefully Graying, Evan Krasnick, who is the founder and CEO of ECKO Tech Services. So welcome, Evan.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's so nice to have you. And again, you are the youngest guest that we've had. Normally we, have the 50 and over demographic, but what you do definitely targets the 50 and over demographic, which is why we are very excited to have you on our show today. So if you could just tell us about your background, what you're currently doing when you're not doing ECKO Tech, let's get into that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I am actually currently a college student. I'm a rising junior at the University of Michigan. And ECKO Tech has been my side, but very important gig for my life in accordance with my studies at school, and is definitely a big piece of my life and part of my future. And ECKO is one of the things I focus on majority of the time in my life when it's not school. So it's kind of where I am in life with that, and
Okay, so you definitely have your plate full. I know that you're starting school soon. Obviously, when people are watching this, who knows when they'll watch this, but you are definitely a very busy guy, let's just say. So one of the services that you offer, let's talk about this, because our demographic is to the 50 and over crowd. What is the importance of keeping your Wi-Fi updated, and explain how you do that for people?
Yes. So a little background with that. Wi-Fi was one of the first things I started doing with ECKO. I was learning from my father, who also knows tech and does IT, and we kind of started to learn a little more about new Wi-Fi systems and things like that. And there's lots of different technology out there. So it was actually the forefront of starting ECKO by installing Wi-Fi in people's homes. So since then, I've kind of become that expert in Wi-Fi technologies and helping people navigate that sometimes seemingly easy, but overwhelmingly more difficult area of technology when Wi-Fi is so important. So a little of what I would do with someone for Wi-Fi is kind of come consult them with, their Wi-Fi in their home or apartment, wherever, is weary, is not great. It's very spotty here and there. I would give recommendations, and I still do, on, you could upgrade to this system with more powerful firewalls, which, a firewall, protects your data, pretty much keeps people out who might try to get into your system, might try to access your personal information. So keeping Wi-Fi updated, like you said, is one of the most important things you can do in terms of like protection for yourself and for your own personal files. You wouldn't really want to use an old computer. As I like to explain it like this, you wouldn't really want to use an old computer without a firewall or any protection because of all your personal data. But it also matters of what Wi-Fi you're connected to and how that protection is going to help you and keep you safe. So it's kind of that two-step process of, have your device protected, but also the Wi-Fi network that you're connected to can be vulnerable. And it's important to keep that updated, strong, with security protection, as well as in the digital age that we're living now. It's important to have Wi-Fi everywhere, in the whole house, whole apartment, wherever, strong, equal everywhere. So that's what I really help clients with, getting that in their homes.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, if somebody does have an old computer, which could be the case, in many people's homes or apartments, is it possible to have really strong Wi-Fi with a very old computer?
It is, yes, it does. It's totally possible. The problem, though, is that these older computers have very weak Wi-Fi antennas within them. So the power that a new Wi-Fi system would offer is not going to match what the computer can actually take in, especially for very older computers. About like 10-year-old computers are not going to get the wireless signal that a new even 5G Wi-Fi phone is going to get, or a brand new computer. But yeah.
That makes sense. seniors need a lot of tech support for their devices. We know that. So what devices do you help seniors with the most? Would it be their mobile phones? Would it be their tablets, their computers?
Yeah, I would say, I was trying to think about exactly what I would say about 70% of my time spent with people doing tech support is on computers and tablets.
Mm-hmm.
What I found is that phones can be still somewhat confusing, but with the computers and tablets specifically, Windows or Apple or whatever operating system, there's a lot more details and little things that are kind of more detail oriented and kind of not as known for just like that everyday person, settings wise, customization wise, privacy wise, and things like that. Well, the phone is a kind of there's some issues, and I still help people a lot with their phones, but I would say those little details in the computers that like are kind of not as obvious sometimes is what I help with a lot.
Right. And I'm sure that you go into deep dives with people who maybe aren't familiar with the specifics of the really deep dive techie parts of it, and setting up accounts and setting up Wi-Fi and,
Right.
So I'm sure that you obviously get into that and have to explain a lot of that to people.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So what I really like to do, and something really important to me, is there's other tech services and stuff out there, like from big box retailers, but they kind of, even on the phone, sometimes it's kind of, we're going to figure it out for you, and then we're going to leave. And just, like, it might be free or something, but you're not going to really know what they did. You're not going to know how to do it again. Something really important to me is, if we're setting up an account for someone, I ensure that they know what the password we're using. I try to set them up with some software like password managers that I think that they need to have, and show them how to use that. And if we do anything in general, I always go back with customers and clients to just walk through it again and again a few more times to ensure that they can do it themselves, because that's what's most important.
Right. But okay, now I have found in the world of gracefully graying that a lot of seniors like to write things down, and they write a lot of Post-it notes. They're like the kings and queens of Post-it notes, I have found. And it's almost like you can write it down 100 times, but unless you're actually doing it, you're really not going to get it.
Right.
What's your thought on that?
No, I completely agree. When I'm with a lot of clients, they're writing down in a notebook, just kind of notes here and there. Yeah. What I've seen, and like from learning myself, is being a practitioner of it is the best way to actually like have your brain like build that mind, like that muscle memory of doing that.
Right. So exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. So even, yes, it's tough because I can't be there, 24/7 to like whenever they need it. But I do, like, physically. But something that I really like, the way I found to help with that is to literally, after I show them how to do it, I hand them the phone, I hand them the computer, and I kind of sit as a passive viewer and allow them to completely do it, and then walk through, this like one step I kind of like can't remember, and then I'll start again and kind of do that like learning pattern of like, figuring it out here and there and going through the whole process until it's a little smoother.
Right. Yeah.
That has been one of the ways I think that's been really successful with people that I've seen to, kind of help them, allow them with like me in their presence to start getting through that process.
Right. Right. And it's still an issue remembering after you're gone. I mean, they can always get a hold of you, but I think it's very frustrating for people. Oh, wait, how do I do this? And maybe it doesn't occur to them to look it up, or I'm not sure. Or they have so many notes that, oh, wait, where did I write that down? Or, it's kind of a daunting process, all of this. Could you explain the differences and similarities because maybe people want to know this, between Apple products and Windows products, as far as like, what's easier? What do you work on more? What do you think?
Totally. So my whole life I've been an Apple guru. That was my day one, like, love and passion for Apple products.
Me too.
Yes. And so exactly. So not that Windows isn't great, but more recently I've been kind of just wanting to be more interested in Windows and checking that out. I've always known it and known that operating system, but there's a lot more details that go in with Windows sometimes, a lot more little things that are not as simple as Apple. So that would be one big thing I would say from the core of the creation. If some people may not know this, from the core of the creation of Apple in general, they looked at the Microsoft operating system and Windows and said, it's not design focused. It's too much. There's too much going on. So that was kind of the essence of what Apple wanted to do, is create an operating system and beautiful technology that is easier to use and simple for the everyday user. So I personally use Apple products for most of my life. I do always run into people, of course, that you are using a Dell and they've always just been a Windows
Right.
user and things like that. And that's what they're comfortable with. And I never want to switch anyone from what they're comfortable with. If they've been doing it, I'm just going to roll with it. I will help them that way. I have become a lot more accustomed with Windows products and knowing how to use those. Apple, I still learn stuff every day, honestly, with their operating systems and things like that. But the big difference, I would say, if you're looking for something of ease of use and kind of just like simple processes and use of a computer, I always kind of recommend an Apple product, even though sometimes they could be a little more higher price point. I think the ease of use and the user friendliness is much more geared towards people when it's kind of more just a simple tasks.
Yeah. Again, I'm an Apple user. I have been for many years, but I feel like some of the other devices, maybe they've caught up a little bit as far as, and I'm also a graphic designer. So like visual cues and making it easier for people to see icons or like, oh, that's the symbol for that. This is what I need to do. I feel like it's evened out a little bit more now than it used to be, which is good for everybody.
Right. No, I totally agree. With both operating systems and products, that's kind of today's age. It's become the focus of making design of like the software and of the operating systems the most user friendly possible. That's what a big focus for all big tech companies have become. But I completely agree. Yes. But yeah.
So, okay, what are some typical issues that seniors experience with their computers and their devices?
Yeah, well, I kind of mentioned this earlier. The one thing I notice a lot is, and this kind of goes back to when we were talking about writing things down, passwords. And I know everyone has problems with passwords, but primarily with some of my older adult clients and senior clients, there are issues where there's no remembrance of a password, and it wasn't written down anywhere. It was written down somewhere, it got thrown out, and don't know where that paper is, this and that. So that's one of the biggest things I see all the time, and it's an issue for everyone. So something I really support and what I do right away when that happens, even if I come to someone's house or we're on Zoom and we're working on something completely separate, but they just can't remember that password, I'll completely stop us and say, all right, we're going to download this password manager. So I really encourage this a simple password manager that I think is the easiest one to use. And there's ones that I recommend that we download that on their computer. I say, let's just input this password in this password manager, and I show them how to use that and kind of stop what we're doing and do that process that we talked about, show them how to use this password manager and add that into our session, because I think it's one of the most important things that, one, have it securely stored for anyone, and two, it's going to be so that they don't have to type in a random password every time and maybe get locked out of account or not know where that piece of paper is. And so it's that one like online vault where they can access their password and they know that is it.
Right. Okay. Also, I know this for a fact through a lot of experience with people, that seniors tend to really love their printers and love to print a ton of everything, like stuff they see, articles on the internet. I mean, anything. When really, I think a lot of times they don't really have to, but they feel that they have to have like a hard copy. And I know that you work with people setting up printers and connecting printers, or they lose connections and then you help them again. Tell us about your services in relation to printers and seniors.
Yeah. Totally. So I completely agree. Yes. A lot of younger people that I've worked with don't really have printers anymore. And so that's just a big piece that, they don't really find it necessary. Even students I work with, they don't have printers because the school either has them or they just don't print anything because everything's digital for them. So with printers, even though some people may not use them, they're still such an important piece of technology that still a lot of people use, and a lot of older adults and senior clients use. One big thing about printers is that they easily become disconnected from the internet when not set up correctly. Mm-hmm. So that can be, it can even sometimes the printer might say that it's connected and they might have like a regular light that says connected, but someone's all of a sudden trying to print one morning and it's not there. And they have no idea why. And it's just like, there's no troubleshooting to be done. Like they don't really understand. So something big that I do is, when someone is in need of a printer or they have printer issues, I would also say are one of the largest things I get calls about all the time. Cause it's just that little thing that matters so much, but it's like so tough sometimes to kind of figure it out. So I help people pretty much come in, either set up a new printer, take away an old printer, and then really I go into these settings, into these printers and connect them to the internet the proper way that the printer company might not tell you to do or something like that. Because through experience, I've seen what you need to do in terms of how to keep it connected all the time. There's little settings all the way through those little menus on those little screens that really change the future of that thing, maybe not going offline when randomly and you have no idea.
Yeah. So you're a real hero for people, because I know people get very frustrated and then you just help them solve their problems, which is very liberating for them. Tell us about in-home sound systems that you also work on.
Yeah, totally. So I specifically work on, and I don't know if some people may have heard of this company, Sonos. I work with Sonos home sound system products. Sonos is like the top of the line, high fidelity, as well as user-friendly speaker system nowadays. Everything of them, all their systems are kind of run through an app on phones, computers, tablets, which I personally think has actually made it easier for all ages to kind of access their music libraries and things like that. But pretty much I specialize in helping people decide what speakers they're looking for their house, installing them for them, showing them how to use this app. The app for all these products is very important because it kind of runs the whole system. So really diving in deep and showing them how to use this Sonos app and how to group speakers and play specific songs where you want and things like that. Another big thing, even with senior clients, they just want, like, sometimes it needs to be a little louder, and some products can't all the time. And so some products can't, like traditional sounds or a sound bar from Costco might not reach that like high fidelity, like high sound rate that they need or that they want. So I have these products that I recommend from Sonos that can be that high fidelity, high sound, or really loud, and also still sound great, and be 10 times more user-friendly than any other sound system. Another big thing I see is a lot of sound systems comes with these little remote that you have to use separately from everything. And that is another reason why I really help people with this other system in Sonos, because it's all tied in, and there's a lot less barriers to like getting it on and things like that.
Right. That's a good thing that you brought up as far as hearing, and, seniors maybe having some hearing issues, and, it's got to be comfortable in their house. And so that's good that you brought that up, actually. Yeah. Okay. How about small and large TVs? I mean, nowadays the TVs are so high tech, and you just tell us about that. Plug it in and voila, there you go. But then you need to log into your entertainment accounts and all that.
Exactly. Yeah. So always help people with TVs. TVs nowadays have become cheaper and still yet as powerful as the nicest ones. They all have operating systems within them, just like your phone or computer now. As many people may have noticed, they have their own menus with Netflix and all of your streaming accounts and all of that. What I always help people do, because it can actually be very difficult with TVs, because they all have different operating systems, even though they might have the same apps. They all look a little different, and it might look different from older TVs that they've had, is to get signed into all those accounts that they have, to kind of customize that menu and customize those user interfaces for clients in terms of when I buy them a TV or bring it to their home. We plug it in and kind of go through those apps, sign into the ones that they have and delete the ones that they don't. So there's just like none of that space to like create an issue, or none of that space to like, oh, I accidentally click on this, I don't know what this is, and just get that out of the way. But yeah.
I mean, honestly, sometimes the actual remote is confusing, or you might have multiple remotes.
100%. That's the other problem. Multiple remotes have become the issue. And that's why, tying back to the sound bars, I don't like to have a little remote for those things, because they just create another volume issue. And then new Samsung TVs, they have this very slick remote that, someone young might love, but I personally even find it's not very user friendly. It's a little tough to use in terms of like knowing where the cursor is on the screen and things like that. And that can create issues all the time too. And I've started to recommend, like, you can get like all-in-one remotes. Sometimes they're not as popular nowadays, but they are still so helpful for some people. So, have that all-in-one remote, so you don't have to use 6 different remotes to do everything.
Right. Good point. Yeah. Okay. You are a jack of all trades. You are also a Ring authorized partner. Tell our audience what Ring is if they're not familiar with it, and what you do with that. Yes.
So I was actually, a little about Ring. Ring was traditionally the very first video doorbell ever really created. That was their first product ever. If you haven't seen them around, pretty much it is a doorbell that you would replace your existing just traditional doorbell with a Ring doorbell. Within it is like a button for the doorbell, as well as a high definition camera and a 2-way speaker system and microphone. All Ring cameras and connect to a Ring app, where that is also the hub for Ring security products, where if someone rang your doorbell, you would hear it within your home. You would also, no matter where you are in the world with an internet connection, you would be able to actually speak to them through a 2-way talk right through your phone when they ring the doorbell. So that's a little background about Ring. Ring has since expanded their product line to pretty much everything. They have alarm systems, or an alarm system that's like a more, no wiring through the walls, and more a simple system for smaller homes and newer homes. They have new security floodlights for sides of homes, as well as full-on lighting systems for the outdoors and around, landscape lighting for homes, that all connect through this app. So Ring launched a new partner program about last year, and I had to go through a training and everything like that to become certified with them. And through Ring now, I offer pretty much advanced installation of anything from just a regular doorbell or just a one security camera, to full-on security systems at people's homes and alarm systems, showing them how to use the app and helping them with all of that and getting that all set up. Ring there's a lot of security products and home security products out there, and Ring is what I recommend to most people. I think it's most user friendly. I think it's the most advanced, well worth your money.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, obviously there are a lot of products out there.
Yes.
So, and then, whatever product you're working with people in general, I mean, do you provide discounts? I mean, do seniors get discounts typically across the industry, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, so Ring products specifically, I can get discounts here and there. And so when I'm able to that, I can offer a lower price point than what they may even get on Amazon, which I love to do, because it's good for me, and I want them to get a better price for what they're getting and what they can get. I want to be fair I always try to be as fair as possible with, if I'm getting a discount, they're going to get a discount, and I'll give them that discount. Exactly. So, I also personally, when I have repeat clients, and it's a kind of a repeating relationship, I always offer, at least I throw in like an extra hour session here or there, an extra installation for this. And I also, a big thing with me for discount wise, more free products, is that when clients refer me to a friend or family member, I always drop off a new Fire TV stick, which is Amazon Fire TV streaming stick with Netflix and all of that, for just drop it off at the door, ship it to them as a thank you. So that's a big thing I do as well. Yeah.
Nice. Good business decision. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so on your website, which we'll get to, you'll tell us what your website is, but you have this amazing drone footage of Mexico, of a
Yes.
certain spot in Mexico. So I know that you offer those services. Doesn't have to be in Mexico, but could be
True.
anywhere. But tell us about that, Evan.
Yeah, so I just became really wanted to just try out using a drone one day about 2 years ago, and kind of just got interested, and then have been going on some family trips here and there, and decided to take the drone out and take some really high definition, awesome videos of family and just activities and stuff like that. And then I had a friend who knows how to edit and take those videos and help me out. And we kind of created that Mexico video. And then I decided this is just a service I could offer if someone was interested. This is also pre-COVID. So, not so much events coming after I started that, but that's okay. And I'm still offering that. But if someone has a smaller event, like with friends and family, and they want some pretty drone footage is very different than on the ground footage. And so have some of that bird's eye view footage and cool shots that they can have for life and just videos, or I could offer to help, edit or full on video with other videos from like phones and stuff like that, but incorporate it with the drone. I think it's a really extra fun piece to offer clients and, events and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, if any listeners are dreaming of some, whatever event or an idea or some creative endeavor, whatever it is, you could definitely help them out with that.
Exactly.
Service. So, obviously you do a lot of your work remotely. I mean, aside from knocking on somebody's door and actually installing something, but what are your visions for your company? I mean, you could do this for people wherever they're located, nationwide, wherever, right?
Yeah. So pretty much, yeah, exactly. That's one of my dreams, I think. I already do it in person. I do a lot of business remote through Zoom, and also through screen share and stuff like that on people's computers. But something I really want to push is eventually create a system or maybe an app even that can kind of be the home for personalized tech support nationwide. So you can log into an application and have like your own personal tech support person at your fingertips that knows you and can help you and is not just a call person type of thing. And that's what I kind of want to break that area of you having to go into a store or going to the Genius Bar or something like that and talking to someone you don't really know, and create a personalized relationship for tech support, because I think it's actually so important for everyone, because everyone wants that personalized experience. And this is an area where I don't think it's offered that much.
Yeah. Well, Evan, you need to then hurry up and graduate from college and get on this, right?
I know, exactly. Yeah. So coming soon.
I mean, that's great. And our point here at Gracefully Graying is to, bring resources to people. You obviously provide a really great resource. And tell us how people can reach you.
Yes, you can reach me at our website, www.ECKO-tech.com. You can also reach out via email, which at hello@ECKO-tech.com, same URL, as well as text or call our phone anytime. And that is, our phone number is 248-422-0203, and you'll all see that probably later. But yeah, that would be the best way to reach us. If you were interested in reading more about products and services and everything like that, our website has all of that.
Okay, that's great. So we really appreciate you being a guest on Gracefully Graying, and congratulations on being the youngest guest.
Thank you. I'm honored.
And we want to get the word out because you really provide some great services for people. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
And to our audience, thanks for listening and watching, and visit our YouTube channel for a lot of other discussions with professionals. And that's it. And thanks for joining us on Gracefully Graying.